The bat signal illuminated the night sky, a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness. I was alerted to a distress call. Commodore Schmidlap, a respected naval officer and philanthropist, was in danger. His yacht, the Sea Serpent, was sending out a mayday signal. It was faint and garbled, but enough to raise the alarm. Robin was already prepping the Batcopter. "Ready for takeoff, Batman," he said, his youthful enthusiasm evident. I could sense his eagerness to face the unknown. I, on the other hand, felt a familiar chill. Gotham's villains were known for their elaborate schemes. This could be another trap. We soared into the night, the Batcopter cutting through the thick fog that had settled over Gotham Harbor. The air crackled with anticipation. As we approached the Sea Serpent's coordinates, we saw no sign of the yacht. Only a single flickering light buoy bobbed on the surface. Something felt wrong. "This doesn't feel right," I muttered, my suspicions growing. Robin, ever the optimist, replied, "Maybe they managed to fix the distress beacon and it's malfunctioning." I hoped Robin was right, but my instincts told me otherwise. We were in for a fight. Suddenly the water beneath the Batcopter erupted in a maelstrom of foam and fury. A gigantic shark, its jaws agape, lunged towards us. This was no ordinary predator, it was a mechanical monstrosity, its eyes glowing with an eerie red light. "Holy jaws, Batman!" Robin cried out, his voice a mixture of awe and terror. I reacted instantly, maneuvering the Batcopter upwards just in time to avoid the shark's snapping jaws. But the beast was relentless. It circled back, its metal fins churning the water. This was a distraction, I realized, but who was behind it? And where was Commodore Schmidlap? I needed to lure the mechanical shark away from Robin so I could regroup and assess the situation. "Robin, take the controls," I barked, strapping on a parachute. As Robin took over, I dove out of the Batcopter, plunging towards the raging waters below. The shark, drawn to my movement, abandoned its pursuit of the Batcopter and turned its attention to me. I hit the water with a resounding splash, the icy chill taking my breath away. The shark was upon me in an instant. The mechanical shark's jaws closed around me with bone-crushing force, but instead of teeth, I felt a strange tingling sensation. Suddenly, I was pulled through a hidden hatch in the shark's mouth, and into a dry, metallic chamber. My eyes adjusted to the dim light. I was in some kind of underwater base, and standing before me, arrayed in all their villainous glory, were the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman. The air crackled with their combined menace. "Well, well, well, if it isn't the Bat himself," cackled the Joker, his green hair almost glowing in the dim light. "We've been waiting for you. What have you done with Commodore Schmidlap?" I demanded, my voice cold and hard. The Riddler, his purple question mark suit almost vibrating with excitement, stepped forward. "The Commodore is merely a pawn, Batman," he hissed. "A means to an end. Our end," purred Catwoman, her eyes gleaming with avarice. "And what an end it will be. We shall rule the world." The Penguin, his monocle glinting, elaborated. "We have developed a device, Batman, a device that can dehydrate any living being into a pile of dust." He gestured towards a large humming machine in the center of the room. "With this we can eliminate our enemies and reshape the world in our image." I launched myself at them, my fists a blur of fury. The Joker shrieked with laughter as he dodged my blow, his purple coat swirling around him. Catwoman, agile as ever, leaped onto a platform, her whip snapping. The Riddler, after a moment of panicked indecision, hurled a smoke bomb at my feet. The base filled with acrid smoke, obscuring my vision. I could hear the villains moving around me, their taunts echoing in the confined space. But I couldn't see them. I needed to clear the air. I activated a small explosive gel on my utility belt. The resulting blast ripped through the smoke, momentarily clearing the room. That was when I saw him. Commodore Schmidlap, strapped to a metal table, his eyes wide with fear, and standing over him, a sinister grin on his face, was Bruce Wayne. My own reflection stared back at me, but with a cruel twist to his lips that sent a chill down my spine. Section 5, a city held hostage. Desperation grips Gotham. "No time for games, Batman," sneered Bruce Wayne, his voice a mocking echo of my own. He held up a small remote control and pressed a button. On a large screen, images of world leaders flickered to life. They were trapped, bound and gagged in a similar underwater chamber. "You're too late, Batman," taunted the Joker. "While you were busy playing cat and mouse with us, we replaced Bruce Wayne with Clayface, our shape-shifting friend. He convinced those buffoons at Wayne Enterprises to fund our little project. And now," he threw back his head and roared with laughter, "the world is ours." I felt a surge of rage, not just for the villain's audacity and cruelty, but for my own blindness. They had played me. They had used my identity, my resources against me. And now, the fate of the world hung in the balance. "You won't get away with this," I growled, my voice low and dangerous. "Gotham, the world needs Batman, and I won't let them down." Section 6. The Dark Knight's Resolve. Unmasking the Imposter. I knew I couldn't fight Clayface head-on, not while he had the element of surprise. I had to outsmart him, unmask him. The real Bruce Wayne, despite his playboy persona, had a heart of gold. Clayface wouldn't be able to replicate that. "You seem troubled, old friend," Clayface sneered, his features shifting slightly as he struggled to maintain Bruce Wayne's form. "Don't you approve of my philanthropic endeavors?" "Philanthropy?" I scoffed. "You're holding the world hostage. Bruce Wayne would never what?" he challenged, his voice taking on a dangerous edge. That's when I saw it, a flicker of fear in his eyes. Clayface, for all his power, was a coward at heart. I pressed my advantage. "You're not Bruce Wayne, you're a cheap imitation, and I'm going to expose you for the fraud you are." I lunged at Clayface, not to strike him, but to rip away the mask. He recoiled, instinctively raising his hands to protect his face, and in that moment of vulnerability, his concentration slipped. His features blurred, shifted, and suddenly, Clayface stood revealed in all his grotesque glory. Section 7. A battle of wits and will, outmaneuvering the rogues gallery. With Clayface exposed, the other villains panicked. The Joker, his face contorted in a mask of rage, screamed, "Get him!" The Penguin, ever the pragmatist, waddled towards the dehydrator, his umbrella transforming into a Gatling gun. Catwoman, her loyalty always fluid, hesitated for a moment before lashing out with her whip. The battle was on. I used every gadget, every trick, every ounce of training to outmaneuver my foes. I dodged the Joker's lethal joy buzzer, deflected the Penguin's bullets with my batarangs, and used my grappling hook to yank the rug out from under Catwoman's feet. But they were relentless. I knew I couldn't keep this up forever. I needed to get to the dehydrator, disable it, and free the hostages. But the villains were between me and my objective. Section 8. Triumph over evil. Justice prevails in Gotham. I took a deep breath, focusing my anger, my fear, into a single point of cold determination. I had to time this perfectly. As the Penguin fired another volley of bullets, I used the distraction to launch myself towards the dehydrator. The Joker, seeing my intention, hurled a laughing gas grenade at my feet. I inhaled sharply, the gas burning my nostrils, but I pushed through the debilitating laughter, my mind fixed on my goal. With a final burst of speed, I reached the dehydrator and ripped out its control panel, sparks flying. The machine sputtered and died. The villains, weakened by the laughing gas and their own thwarted ambitions, were easy to subdue. Soon, the authorities arrived, alerted by a silent alarm I had triggered earlier. The Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, and Clayface were apprehended, their dreams of world domination shattered. The hostages were freed, safe and sound. Section 9. A new dawn for Gotham, hope for a peaceful future. As the sun rose over Gotham, casting its golden light on the city, I stood on the rooftop of Wayne Tower, watching the police cars disappear into the distance. The events of the night weighed heavily on my mind. The villains were locked away, but for how long? Evil never truly slept. It merely waited for another opportunity to strike. But for now, there was peace. The people of Gotham were safe. And that, I reminded myself, was all that mattered. As Bruce Wayne, I would work to rebuild the trust that had been broken. As Batman, I would remain vigilant, ever watchful for any sign of danger. The fight for justice never ended, but with every victory, no matter how small, came a flicker of hope. A hope for a better tomorrow, a hope for a world free from fear. And that hope, I knew, was worth fighting for, always.